Jay.
Hello.
It's nice to see you again. How's your Tuesday morning going for you?
It is wonderful.
Fantastic. Ours is wonderful as well. We're excited to present for you this morning.
Good.
Just a little bit of information of what we're going to do for you today. We are going to give you an insight into the book we feel would be a great asset to your current curriculum. It'll fill any gaps that are missing with your current textbook that you're using. We're going to show you a short video that'll give you general information on the book, as well as we will do a little bit of role play and give you some more experiences on the book for
great.
future use as well. I know last time we spoke, we had gone over a few of the important aspects of a buffer, or as you would, book to fill your curriculum. Some of the things you were looking for, just a couple benefits we wanted to go over was, or needs we wanted to go over is a book that is relevant to your students, one that'll show them context and help them solve problems in a sales scenarios that they might end up in the future. A book that has real life examples from sales experts, as well as a book that is budget friendly because the students will be purchasing this book on their own. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Perfect.
The book, we found a book that would be a great fit for you, and it's Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands, the sales and marketing edition. And it goes over all the sales preparation skills, just besides just the logistics and the steps of like what is in the book you're currently using.
Okay.
And we have a video that kind of goes over the overview of what the book is about.
Okay.
Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands, Sales and Marketing Edition. This is an informative, entertaining guide that shows your students what to do and what to avoid in any given sales or marketing situation from Argentina to South Africa. We know the textbook you're currently using is one of those step-by-step instructional books that teaches your students how to perfect the sales process. This is a great textbook, but what this book doesn't teach your students is real-world applications of the sales process in conjunction with international clients. The global business community is growing closer together, which means your students will inevitably have to sell to an international client or travel abroad to make a sale. Do you feel your students are ready for that challenge? You may have answered yes, but the answer is no, they are not. Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands, Sales and Marketing is a great addition to your current sales curriculum. This book will teach your students how to use the sales process to solve problems when completing sales transactions with international clients from around the world. Some of the key areas discussed in this book include: what time should I arrive? Icebreakers. How close should I stand? Do I kiss, bow, or shake hands? Business cards. Language. 3 tips for selling. And the wow factor.
And our last slide we wanted to read to you instead of leaving it in the video. This is a testimonial from Dr. Jack Schenknauer. He is a business and sales instructor at a top university. He says, as a business and sales instructor, I've always had the Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands series in my toolbox as a reference. Terry Morrison's latest book is a joy to me because it is a must-have for those doing business with international clients and those traveling to other countries to sell, buy, or close deals. My students love this book. So it's just a little bit of a testimonial from someone who actually is currently using this book in his curriculum.
Great.
The video also just gives you a little bit of a general overview. I know it doesn't touch on all of the aspects that you were looking for, so we also want to let you know that this book does include in every single section for every country. It has real life examples from sales experts of how they either lost a sale or because of something that they did incorrect in a meeting, or how they gained a sale because of something they learned through this information that is provided in this book. One of these scenarios was where a sales representative went to another country to sell a product to, it was Argentina, I believe, and the only give the salespeople only give themselves 2 days for the whole process in Argentina with the business client. But in Argentina, they don't do things that way. You don't stick with your bullet points. What you do in Argentina is you let them dictate the flow of your sales meeting. So they wanted to get more personal on personal levels with them, and it would have extended out past 2 days. They also tried to push the sale quickly, and you do not do that in Argentina. You do not try to push a sale. You just have to work your way into it. They will let you know when they're ready to buy. Because of this, they did not get the sale, and Sweden actually got the sale for Argentina. The U.S. lost out on the sale. So it'll give you real life scenarios of situations like this, things that they've done incorrectly that they could have avoided by a book like this. I know in our meeting you also said you did not want anything too cultural, but in the real world, we are going to a global marketplace. No matter what sales presentation, or no matter if you're in the United States or traveling abroad, you will eventually deal with an international client. Knowing the correct procedures and things to do and not to do is very important. Also, we have a quick little role play for you.
Okay.
It'll only take a second. Mitchell will be playing Mr. Chang. He is the businessman I will be selling to. I will be myself, trying to sell him a product. You don't need to know any background because it'll just be quick.
Okay. I do me a favor. Just hit pause on that so the ticking from your video stops.
Oh, is it ticking?
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just left that one. Hi, Mr. Chang. Nice to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, just from that quick little tiny tidbit of role play, you can see how a sales presentation or a meeting will go horribly wrong. You'll become very embarrassed. You'll become flustered. It doesn't matter how much you know about the sales process. The current textbook you have is going to teach them how to perfect that sales process and what you need to do and how you need to present your information, but it doesn't teach you the proper cultural aspects of a client meeting. So in that situation, I would have gotten flustered, embarrassed, and I would have lost my footing. Doesn't matter how many times I practiced.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how much knowledge I had of my product. I would have been flustered and the rest of my sales presentation might have been a mess. So you can see how that little bit of information would help.
And for like future classes you may have, whether it be in class or online, you could do something like that, like what we just did, where you could have your students do skits. One showing like what not to do, so kind of messing up, and then you could also have them do another one where they do the introduction the right way.
Yeah, that would be amazing for your online classes. I know you had said it's hard to do role plays for online classes, so if they worked with another partner in the class or even a family member or friend and did a little role play where they did these two skits, it would get them into the situation. So in closing, we do want to reiterate the fact that this book is great for your class. It'll fill those gaps. It'll give them personal selling experience for cultural aspects. It'll put them in the scenario to teach them how to interact with their clients in a real world basis. We're also going to leave you with, actually, do you have any questions before we?
Yeah, I certainly agree the world's getting flatter. There's no doubt. I mean, cultural things working internationally is becoming a big deal. At the same time, in my experience, it takes a while to work up to that point. Typically, salespeople don't go from classroom to international sales. So I guess my question for you is, how does this book help bridge the gap of maybe that first sales job out? What experiences or what takeaways can you get from this book that may be beneficial for the students early on versus into later in their career where they might have a little more international exposure?
Just looking at this book, you'll notice that there are the different countries, and then each country does stuff their own way, and you'll know none of the salespeople are going to be exact. Like, none of the people you go to are going to be exactly the same.
Okay.
And then it's kind of like can get you kind of used to and like what to expect, since they're not going to be the same. And so if you do get to that point where you are going international. You know what to do so you don't offend them. You know what to do and kind of get used to it.
Can you give me an example, though? So maybe something from the book that was, it was an international example, but the characteristics of the example itself would translate back to to something local.
Like for, I believe it was Australia.
Okay.
Like, the people are more relaxed and kind of like easy to know, and you could probably get that. Like if you're trying to sell to like a local business or something, they're gonna probably be a little bit more laid back and stuff like that. That you can probably get comfortable around much quicker than you would with somebody that's like more straightforward and stuff like that.
I think if you have your students do multiple scenarios with varying countries, one degree this way and another degree is, like he said, more relaxed, or one that's very, static, then the students will also be able to take those experiences, even though they're for other countries, and bring them to the actual sales world, because like he said, no matter what situation you go into, they're going to be different. Sometimes you'll have someone who just wants to be hurried through the presentation, wants to make the sale, or wants to get you out the door. Sometimes you'll have somebody who wants to sit there and chit chat and drag things out. So the different countries are the same. And studying the different countries will help you to learn how to sell in the different scenarios with other countries, which is the same as here.
Okay.
Just as other countries have those different aspects about them, so do different business people, so do different companies. So it doesn't matter which way you go. And even though this is international, it's not just taking these sales and going outside of the United States. Working inside the United States, you will still be selling internationally. You might be selling over the phone internationally, or they might come visit you here. So even if you're not going outside the country, this is still very relevant in today's market, in today's sales market.
That was my only question. You have anything else for me?
We do.
Okay.
We also have a handout for you to take back. We know Mr. Mike Rankin
Yeah.
will be your colleague you'll be discussing this book with.
Yeah.
I know you have the final decision, but there's just a little bit of information from the card or from the video to give to him as well.
Oh, okay, great.
And then also, we're going to let you go over the information and go over the book for a week or so, and then we will contact you back to see where you're at.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll find the information or the book useful, and so we will follow up. If you have any questions between now and then, don't hesitate to contact us.
Okay.
Our information is available. I believe we gave it to you, our business card, at the last meeting, so
Yep.
you have all of that information.
Great.
So, thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you guys. Good job.